Hello, and welcome to another edition of Ask the Chiropractor. I'm Dr. Brent Holtzabos, chiropractor, here to talk to you a little bit about a question we get asked a lot. The question we get asked in this week's Ask the Chiropractor is, what does it take to become a chiropractor? I want to become a licensed chiropractor. What do I have to do? So we get asked this question a lot because we host a lot of high school kids here in the local Rockford High School Academy program. So in the academy program here in Rockford, the students pick one of 4 different academies, and one of the academies they can pick is health sciences. If you pick health sciences and you're interested in the career of chiropractic, we have you come in and shadow us for the day. And then what we do is after they shadow us for a day to see what it's like to be a chiropractor for the day, then at the end of the school year, we take them on a bus trip to the chiropractic college to answer this question. And as a matter of fact, for us here today, today's April 4th, today is the day we do that. So we have a charter bus rented. We have 43 students going to go visit the school for the first time. And I'm taking a couple of Rock Valley students with myself too. So let's today, since that's our focus of our practice and the focus of what's going on today and the future chiropractors in the world, let's talk a little bit about what it becomes to become a chiropractor. And it has changed a lot over the years. So if you've heard any old stories or if you're listening up on the internet, what you might be reading might have been true at one time, but not be true today. So let's talk about today first. So today, the high school students, they graduate high school and they have to complete about 90 hours before they can transfer into chiropractic school. If you complete your 90 hours before you transfer into chiropractic school, then you will graduate chiropractic school with both a doctorate of chiropractic, a postgraduate degree, and a bachelor's of science in biology. The 2 classes, some of them overlap, so you're able to graduate with both at graduation. This is what I did. This is what several of the doctors here did. They have a bachelor's of science and their doctorate from chiropractic school. Now, there are a few states that say your bachelor's of science must come from a different school than your chiropractic school. And there are several states that say you must have a bachelor's prior to going into chiropractic school. So depending on where you live, you want to call your state chiropractic association asking those questions. That's the fastest way always. If you live in Arkansas, I would call the Arkansas Chiropractic Association, ask them what the rules are. You can call the actual state themselves if you want to move with the speed of government, but call your local state association. Here in Illinois, we have the Illinois Prairie State Chiropractic Association, and they can answer those questions for you. So you graduate high school, you complete 2-year courses pretty much focused on what a pre-med student would take. For me, I went to University of Massachusetts under the pre-med title. So I was pre-med at University of Massachusetts taking classes towards becoming a chiropractor. I always knew I wanted to be a chiropractor, but the classes are so similar, I just enrolled in the pre-med program. So that's what I did. And then I transferred to chiropractic school after 3 years of college. And again, I got both degrees at graduation. So you have to really, really like science classes. So you do all your science classes. So you do all your science classes like chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry, physics, and stuff like that in undergraduate. Then you go into chiropractic school. And when you're in chiropractic school, I'm going to talk a little bit about Palmer, how Palmer set up. That's where I went to school. That's where my father went to school. That's where my grandfathers went to school. And that's where my uncles went to school. So I'm a little biased on the schools I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to talk about Palmer. You can see right over here, there's a purple banner hanging up. That's my output. That's my Palmer banner. So Palmer College is where I went. It's in Davenport, Iowa. There's also Palmer, Florida. Palmer, Florida was just starting when I was graduating. So today, I don't know which one I would go to. There's something cool about Palmer, Davenport, and there's something cool about living in Florida. So there you go. So I went to Palmer College. Why Palmer College? Palmer College is where chiropractic started. Dr. Palmer was the first ever chiropractor. So Davenport, Iowa, Dr. Palmer gave the first ever chiropractic adjustment. That was for a guy named Harvey Lillard. Harvey Lillard had fallen down the stairs, hurt his neck. After hurting his neck, he lost his hearing. Dr. Palmer was able to find a spot in his neck, give him an adjustment. Harvey's hearing reopened up. I believe he opened his sinuses. This is back in 1895, September 18th, 1895. So we didn't quite have the medical records like we do today. But he gave the adjustment to him, and Harvey's hearing came back, and they thought they had found a cure for deafness. But in reality, they discovered a new science called chiropractic. So Davenport, Iowa is where it all started. So you go to Davenport, Iowa. What you do then is you enroll in Palmer School. Now, the thing about chiropractic school compared to normal college is that it's a postgraduate degree, and everyone's required to take the same classes. So when you go to chiropractic school, it's not like this guy's taking this class and you're taking this class. You're all in it together. You all start up classes and you all take the same classes at the same time. And what they've done is they've combined 5 years at college into 10 trimesters. So chiropractic school is a little bit intense because you're there from 7:30 in the morning your first year until classes probably end around 3:30, 4 o'clock. Then a couple of days a week, you also have dissection labs. So you're there quite a bit the first year. And the reason you're there quite a bit the first year, and the reason why you dive into science so heavily the first year, is because we have national board examinations, just like medical doctors do. And so our first national board examination is based on just the science classes. It's based on the fact that you sat through anatomy all day, stuff like that. So the first year is based around the national boards. Your second, when you get to the first 3 trimesters and you get to the next 3 trimesters, 4th, 5th, and 6th trimester, now we're doing a little bit more hands-on stuff. Now we're learning how to do physical exams. Now we're learning how to do motion palpation. That's like when you feel the spine up and down, see how it's moving. And it's also we're starting to learn how to finally do chiropractic. We're finally learning our first adjustment moves. Your last year of chiropractic school, the 10 trimester system, now school starts to get a little bit easier. You can always tell someone in their last year because the first year you're at school all day long, you're constantly reading books, you're constantly going to labs. Your last year, not so much. You're more hanging out in the clinic, you're taking adjusting classes, you got to spend more and more time in the student clinic because you see a medical doctor, they graduate and they get assigned to a hospital where they'll do their clinic rotations. In chiropractic school, you're going to do your clinic rotations right there. You're going to see patients right there. So your first, for 50 adjustments are just watching, taking notes, noticing what you would do compared to what the other student doctor did. Your next 50 are actually on each other. So you will find alumni, classmates, and immediate family members. You'll take care of them, what we call the student clinic. So the student clinic is where you're doing your first adjustments. And you usually get, at least in my time, you got a reciprocal, which meant some of your first ever adjustments were on that person and that person's first ever adjustments were on you. So Dr. Jason Gray, wherever you are, you had to experience my worst chiropractic care I ever gave. It's my first chiropractic patient. So I hope you're doing okay still today, buddy. But that's kind of how it all starts. You got your reciprocal. Now, for me, it was fun because a lot of my family goes to Palmer. So I had a cousin there and she was finishing up. So I was one of her first patients since I had just enrolled. You can see other students. She was just finishing. So she was able to work on me. So one of my first student chiropractors was actually my cousin. So that was kind of fun. And I had cousins too that were going to University of Iowa that I was able to take care of when I was at school. So your first ones are kind of on friends and family because they're supposed to forgive you. And after that, you have to perform 200 adjustments on the public. So what they have is you move to the main clinic and in Davenport, they have clinics and one in Illinois. That's where I was. I went to the Illinois side, but they also have the other main clinic in Davenport, Iowa. People from the public come in, they get seen, and you work with a staff doctor directly above you who will help you deliver the care. So when we graduate, we're able to go to work the next day. Where medical students, they graduate med school, and then they have to go do rotations, and they have to pick their specialty. But in chiropractic school, we only have one specialty, so it's real easy. The other fun thing about chiropractic school is the fact that you're going to school with people who are taking the exact same classes as you. I alluded to this earlier. So everyone's taking the same classes. Everyone's having the same goal. There's no competition in chiropractic school. Like med school, you're competing with other people for GPAs in order to go to certain hospitals you might want to go to. In chiropractic school, when you graduate, you're ready to go to work. You don't have to do anything else. You can go see patients the next day as long as you're licensed. So in chiropractic school, it's a little less competitive, a little less cutthroat because we want to see everyone succeed. We want to see everyone do well. So study groups, helping each other out through school, camaraderie with your classmates. I mean, some of the best friends I've ever made are my friends from Palmer. We've helped support each other and carry each other through a tough time. So that's chiropractic school. So then when you graduate, you'll have a doctor of chiropractic and you'll have a bachelor's of science more than likely. Some states don't require the bachelor's to this day. I know Illinois does not require it, but certain states do. So you really get to want to call your state association based on where you're going for how you want to finish chiropractic school. Then you have national boards. Now, when I went to school, there was part 1, 2, and 3, and then some states had adopted part 4. Today, it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's 4 parts of national boards. And again, your education kind of matches right along with it. Like I said, that first year of school is tough because you want to do good at that first national board. Your second and third national board are very similar and they require around your clinical skills, being able to do exams and stuff like that. So that test is actually given the same time that you're going through those classes. So you'll complete those classes and you go right in and take that test, part 2 or 3. And then the last part is part 4 is actually where you have mock patients that come in and you actually kind of walk through how you would actually take care of a patient, whether it's the x-rays, whether it's the examination, or whether it's the chiropractic care itself. So part 4 is the one that really teaches your chiropractic skills and your chiropractic knowledge. Now, I speak of this from secondhand because in Illinois, when I graduated, part 4 wasn't required. So I did not bother because I knew I was coming here. But yeah, part 4 is now a real test. And there's a couple of states that used to have state boards. I'm 95% sure that almost no state has a state board anymore, but you might have looked into get that too in order to get licensed. So then you're licensed, and all you got to do is continue with your continuing education, like all healthcare professionals do. Every year you maintain your license, and now you're a licensed chiropractor. So I kind of hope that answers the questions about how you become a chiropractor. Like I said, you go to high school, then you go to undergraduate school, then you go to chiropractic school. Chiropractic school is the equivalent of 5 years condensed into a little bit over 3, but it's intense. It's 30 hours a trimester, more or less, in order to get it done as quickly as you can. After that, you have to pass licensing in order to get licensed in the United States. Now, as far as Canada and other countries, you have to look at those individually. If you want to do that, go to chiropractic.org. Chiropractic.org, that's the International Chiropractic Association, and they'll be able to tell you about different countries and how to get licensed in different parts of the world. I know there's still parts of the world that don't have chiropractors. So if you go there, you got to kind of write your own thing, but it's also an uphill battle because you have to write all your own stuff and your own policies and your own rules. So take a look at it if you want to become a chiropractor. And if you live in my area and you're watching this locally, you want to come talk to me more about me, shadow, hang out with me, come on in, talk to us. Talk to you about Palmer College, talk to you about other schools too. I know this weekend I'll be at Sherman Chiropractic School in South Carolina for a meeting. So I do know a little bit about some of the other schools. I'm just, like I said, I'm very partial to the purple one, Palmer College, where it all started. All right, anybody, if you have a question sometime you'd like to ask the chiropractor, feel free to leave a comment below. We'll get back to you. Maybe next time when you've turned me on, I'll be doing your Ask the Chiropractor. You can watch us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and you can always go to our website, rockforddc.com. You'll see it scrolling across the bottom if you're watching, rockforddc.com. There's a blog there. All of our former Ask the Chiropractor questions are there. They're all posted there. So you can go back and look at them. There's a search. You can search for different topics if you're looking for a different topic. Other than that, if you have a question, feel free to ask the chiropractor a question about chiropractic. If you have a question about your teeth, ask your dentist. If you have a question about chiropractic, make sure you ask a chiropractor, and I'm happy to answer that question for you. Other than that, stay healthy, stay strong, and we'll see you next week.